Good evening, everyone. I am Divya Chaudhary, and it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to this webinar on personal branding, today organized by Digisaksham. And we would like to extend a special welcome to our guest, Dr. Indrajit Goswami, who will be guiding us today. This webinar is organized by Sems Welfare Foundation. It is a not-for-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation, and employability. Also, health research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environment protection, or any other similar sector. We promote healthy lives, balanced and active communities, strong businesses. It allows the volunteer members to concentrate their energies and efforts on long term goals when freed from day to day details. So, SEMS Group has conducted various international conferences, seminars, workshops, and webinars in emerging technologies in various parts of India and has an active network of 3,000 plus engineers, managers, researchers, industrialists, consultants, public bodies who share an interest in contributing to society through the academic means of education and research. Digisaksham is another initiative of Sims Welfare Foundation and has developed content for over 300 courses in multiple languages, which range from 4 hours to 6 months in various sectors of IT, BFSI, retail, and entrepreneurship for all age groups from school, children, youth, professionals, and senior citizens with over 6,000 trainings till date. So, in its short time of existence, Self Welfare Foundation is executing a skilling project for 600 inmates across two jails in the state of Haryana. Additionally, an MOU has also been signed to execute training in domains of entrepreneurship, livelihood generation, and capacity building to nearly 4,000 students and upskilling of faculty members of a prestigious university in Uttar Pradesh. So, about today's event, personal branding is the practice of marketing people and their careers as brands. It is an ongoing process of developing, maintaining a reputation and impression of an individual, group, or organization. Whereas some self help practices focus on self improvement, personal branding defines success as a form of self packaging, and your personal brand is how you promote yourself. So, it is the unique combination of skills, experience, and personality that you want your followers to see. So, to enlighten us on the topic, as I mentioned earlier, today we have Dr. Indrajit Goswami with us. He has acquired his MSW degree from Visva Bharati Central University and PGDM from ISSEWBM Kolkata. He obtained PhD in Professional Ethics in 2007 from JRNRV University, Udaipur. Later, he continued his learning journey and obtained 28 certificates from Northwestern University, Michigan University, Yale, Harvard University, University of Illinois, and other platforms. He has over 26 years of experience in PG teaching, research consultancy and organization, and leadership development, and has served universities, autonomous institutions, business schools across India, including NGOs. He has authored 3 books, contributed chapters in 7 edited books, published more than 40 research articles in peer-reviewed journals, including Emerald, Sage, Scopus, and UGC Care. He is an serving article editor, editorial board member, advisory board member, and technical committee member in several national and international journals, including SAGE, Harvard Business Review, and IEEE. So, I request Dr. Goswami to take hold of this event and enlighten us more on the topic of personal branding. So,
So, very good evening to all the existing and prospective personal brands of India. I am honored to be invited by Sems Welfare Foundation to share my views on personal branding. So, definitely, we'll have a small, brief journey during next 1 hour, 50 minutes to 1 hour, where we'll try to understand what is a brand, what does a brand offer. Okay. From today's session, uh, I just promise you some takeaways that after these 50 minutes or 60 minutes, discussion, you can have some takeaways with you. So you will come to know what are the different components of brand personality. It is something which you need to construct, which you need to build up. As Divya has rightly said, that as and when we grow with our career, we have a progression in our life and profession. So we have to build our brand, we have to build our personality and image. So definitely there are several components. So you will understand what are the different components and how to take care of those components. Understanding about brand ownership and brand endorsement. Okay. So that is one important point. So you will have some clarity from today's discussion and how to build your personal brand. So the my entire discussion will be guided by some you know designed some PPTs which have been designed by me, and these 11 12 PPTs will help me to support my arguments, my deliberations, my interactions with all of you here, so that you can understand the subject and you can digest well. So the content, whatever I have developed and whatever I have presented to the PPTs, they mostly will cover product versus brand. Then we'll try to understand, the great Swami Vivekananda from the lens of branding. Then we'll try to understand what is brand, difference between brand and a product. Then we'll again discuss, come back to another personality, Varghese Kurian, who is the father of white revolution in India, Amul cooperative. So we'll try there also we'll try to understand how Kurian has emerged as a one renowned personality, brand personality in India. Then there are a couple of more points we'll see. Most importantly, towards the end of this discussion, we'll concentrate on how to build brand, what are the different components of branding. With this, I hope my deliberation, my interaction with you all will be complete, and then I will keep the platform open for question answer session. So before I start, I am just giving you a small teaser to all of you to think about whether these two particular terminologies we often come across. Several times we find that we are victims of these two attributes of some other persons. One is flattery and one is nepotism. So there are certain people, without having any merit, without having any knowledge, without having any set of skill, they get promotion, they get opportunities, and they move forward, and they sometimes they enjoy a lot of other benefits which many people are deprived of. So that is nepotism. And another one group of people we find that they believe in flattery, जिसको हम लोग हिंदी में कहते हैं चपलूसी. So yeah, whether these two attributes contribute to brand building or they are barriers to brand building. So just I am giving you 30 to 40 minutes 30 to 40 seconds time to have a kind of brainstorming. Individually you do. By that time, let me connect my PPT so that I can start my presentation and talk. So this is my introductory slide. It's about me already. You have got the introduction about me from the introducer. So this is the first slide. So although we are not sitting here to have a very focused discussion on branding from the perspective of marketing and advertising of goods and services offered by different companies. Here you are sitting together, or here we have been assembled to understand the value of personal branding, and if there is any opportunity to build personal brands, and for the benefit of our profession, for the benefit of the society. So when we understand this, it will be better to move forward to understand our personality as a brand, our image as a brand. Okay, so I have given here two different graphical presentation. One, a setup sound box or music system that there is no mention of any particular brand name. So it represents the locally manufactured goods. It represents the locally manufactured goods where some people are attracted because the price may be low or may be easily available, Understand? So a product and a brand, there is some difference. So I'm not just going to instigate some questions and I'm not going to poke everybody to give me an answer, but my objective here is to sensitize you to understand what is the difference between a product and a brand. So when it is a brand, we understand the brand by something, by some attribute, by some qualities, by some equity, by some specialities, by some promises. Understand? Where the price is not an important factor. It might be one of the factors, but price of the product is not an important factor, but its equity is important factor. What does it promise to us? What does it promise to us? What is the value it offers? So that becomes a very important point for a consumer, for a customer to take a decision about to purchase that particular product, which comes from a very renowned brand company. So when you use the Sony, so when we use the brand Sony, it is easily understandable that we are talking about a company which gives us a promise, that promise of quality of sound, promise of quality of that electronics, quality of design, and its durability. Understand? Extremely sorry for inconveniences. So I am not going to discuss in detail about the difference between product and brand, but just I have mentioned a very fundamental thing which help us to understand or distinguish between a product and a brand. Okay, so when your qualities resonate with your clientele group or your target group, your stakeholders. It may be a group of your clients, it may be a group of your students if you are a teacher, it may be a group of customers if you are a retail store, or it may be if you are a music teacher, again it may be a group of students who are coming to you and learning music, or something else which you are offering as a product or service to a set of clientele group, a set of target groups. So when your qualities resonate with the expectation of your target group, then you become or you emerge as a brand personality. Understand? It is not a price, how much tuition fee you charge from your students, how much tuition fee you charge when you are offering tuition to a group of students. But it is something different than the price which makes you popular among the students, which makes you popular in your neighborhood, which draws a lot of respect and recognition to you. That is what brand talks about. It is not only the price, it is not only the location, it is not only the availability of the person, but it is something different which talks about something else, जिसको हम लोग हिंदी में कहते हैं जरा हट के, something different, something unique, something special which we find in a product, in a person, in a company, or in anything else. So that indicates the concept of a brand. Okay, so when Vivekananda was living, that time this concept of branding was not there. The concept was not born at all. Okay, so he said, Parapokara Punyaya Papayo Parapidanam. That means it is a quote of Vivekananda. He has several quotes. So I have just taken one quote. Now tell me, from this particular personality of this great, saint, the great role model, can we consider him, can we adore him as a brand of spiritual leadership, as a role model for spiritual leadership? Swami Vivekananda is no more, but his ideals are still living. His ideals are living. His name as well as his his name as well as his activities, his contributions to society, both are equally adorned by people. So the name emerged as a role model. How? Because of his deeds, because of his contributions to society, because of his service to humanity, because of his sacrifices. He never lived for himself. He never lived for himself. He lived for the people. He lived for the upliftment of the downtrodden, underprivileged, poor people of the societies. So now, whenever we do an analysis and examination of the concept of branding, we definitely find that yes, Swami Vivekananda definitely was a leading example of a spiritual leadership, a brand of spiritual leadership. So that means it clearly indicates that whenever we talk about some brand, it means it offers something unique. It offers something unique. It becomes a role model. It becomes an exemplary, what I can say, symbol, which people talk about which people talk different stories, people do different discussions, people make different presentations, people quote those people in different occasions, people refer them as a symbol of virtue and values. That means a person who lived a life which has become a kind of source of inspiration for millions and millions of people, including youth, not only in India, but in the entire world. So, whenever we do an analysis, the concept of brand, we find that Swami Vivekananda very nicely fit into this particular definition of brand, and he is a role model for spiritual leadership. So, now let us try to understand a little bit in detail uh, what is a brand. Is it something? Is it is Do you find a brand in a name? Do you find a brand in a term? Is it something? Is it a design? Is it a symbol? Is it a person or personality? Understand? Person or personality, or is it a set of product or service, its utility, its quality, commitment, conviction, promises, and equity? Very important. So there is always a kind of tussle between these two sets of attributes. But question is, interestingly, the brand lives everywhere. The brand lives everywhere. Yes, the name is a brand. I'll give examples. A name could emerge as a popular brand. It could be a terminology, it could be a design. Okay, it could be a design, it could be a symbol of love, a symbol of spirituality, a symbol of peace, a symbol of harmony. Okay, that also could be, because symbol, whenever you use the word symbol, a logo comes to our mind, a kind of pictorial presentation of something comes to our mind. By identifying, by seeing this particular diagram or graphical representation, we easily identify the person, the company, the product, and its qualities. So brand lives everywhere. It name, it could be a term, it could be a design, it could be simple, person, personality. But question is, one important attribute that again differentiates a product from a brand. It's a product talks about its utility, but when you talk about brand, it talks about its quality and equity, its commitment, its conviction, its promises. Understand? So all together, these all attributes together comprise the concept of brand. So I have given a very broad point below the PPT, that what is the difference between product and brand. It is just a difference between a price and value. Okay, it's a difference between price and value. So question is, I just very briefly tell you here that what does it indicate, what is the implication of this differentiation. Somebody may be working in a municipal office, a fourth grade clerical staff, a fourth grade clerical staff working in a municipal office. His public image sometimes could be much better than an officer on special duty, a civil service officer. Either it may be state civil service or Indian civil service officer. That fourth division clerk may have earned that much of respect and reputation in that office, and sometimes that reputation and that aura, it goes beyond the reputation and respect even of a high level officer. So the brand does not live in price, the brand lives in value. The person is admired by thousands and thousands of people, those who visit the municipal office, they remember him for his behavior, for his conduct, for his values, for his commitment. And there are so many other attributes. So his salary, his position, his, is not so important. Similarly, whenever we talk about brand, whenever we talk about leadership, the leadership is not a position, it's a role. So whenever I tell you that you all are prospective brands of India, I do want to mean that you need not to go after a position or post, understand, or a kind of designation. You need to become a leader. You need to nurture yourself to become a leader who communicates, who offers lots of promises to its people. To its people, sometimes it may be very specific in terms of your clientele group, in terms of your target group, in terms of your community where you serve, with whom you work. It may be the group of students, it may be a group of rural women, it may be a tribal community, it may be a group of children, whatever it might be. But question is what you offer, what you promise, your conviction, your commitment, and what quality and your consistency. There are so many other attributes. There are so many other attributes. I may not be able to cover all the attributes whenever I am defining a brand, but you will understand if it is sensitizing you to understand the difference between a product and a brand, a person and a brand personality. There is a difference between a person and a brand personality. Understand? So, so it is what the difference between a price and value. So let us now have a brief, understanding about the uh, one great personality of India, Varghese Kurian. Varghese Kurian, he is, admired as, he is recognized as the father of white revolution in India. He himself is a brand. Whenever we take the name of Varghese Kurian, the picture of Amul comes to our mind. Whenever we talk about Amul, we talk about Varghese Kurian. Now see the power of brand. Here, the brand lives in the name of Varghese Kurian, and he himself created another brand in terms of his offerings to the society, what he offered to the society, what the ultimate end result of his hard work, of his movement, of his activities, of its organizing capability, of his networking. That is Amul, the taste of India. So whenever we take the name of Amul, the name of Varghese Kurian comes to our mind. Whenever we talk the story of, whenever we tell the story of Varghese Kurian to children, Amul appears simultaneously in our story. So these two are the same side. These two are the two different sides of the same coin. But Varghese Kurian himself lived as a living legend, as a brand, and he has created Amul as a brand, very popular brand, very admirable brand to the entire world. So what was his purpose in life? What was his mission? Varghese Kurian had a purpose in life, and then he had a mission which had driven him throughout his life, where he did not differentiate between his family and profession, between his family commitments and commitments to his employees or the members of this institution. There is no difference. The existence of a brand, the promotion of a brand, the journey of a brand never discriminates between your family life and your professional life or occupational life. So be very clear. The brand does not distinguish, differentiate, or separates your identity in family, your identity in your profession or occupation. Okay, but when you emerge as a very popular brand, as a very admirable brand in the society, you earn dual benefits. You earn respect from the society, from your family, from the society, At the same time, you earn respect from the industry you belong to, your customers, your suppliers, your other stakeholders. So what was the purpose of Varghese Kurian and what was his mission? I just tell you very briefly here. The purpose of Varghese Kurian was his the purpose of his life I am talking about. Alleviating rural poverty and empowering poor women. He started his venture or his movement in Gujarat, Anand. So Anand, the name Anand has become a brand. When you talk about Anand, Anand is famous not because of its land, not because of its weather, not because of its geographical construction, but the place Anand has become famous for Varghese Kurian and Amul. Understand? So this is the power of a brand. And it was possible for Mr. Varghese Kurian because he had a very defined purpose in his life and he had a very clearly defined, well articulated mission in his life. The mission which he chased and achieved the excellence. And this journey made him famous as a brand. Here, so whatever we learn today in terms of personal branding, so these all are examples from which we draw a lot of inputs as a raw material, as lessons and learnings, and that we inculcate in our life, that we try to emulate in our life, that we try to adopt, that we try to practice, so that we too can emerge and become successful in our life as brands. Clear? What is the difference here? It is a very important pictorial presentation, very important pictorial presentation, and I'm sure you have never heard it before. What is brand ownership and what is brand endorsement? I was talking about something few minutes back. This is not exactly the synonymous word. For example, I use the word flattery and I use the word nepotism. Understand? There are some people, those who believe in flattery, okay, chaplusi, chamchagiri, and there are a group of people who get some kind of support from their uncles, elders, parents, relatives, even political. They might have some political affiliations too, from where they draw some favor and they occupy some positions. They get some projects, they get some roles, they get some resources. But I tell you one thing very sincerely, nepotism and flattery are the obstacles in brand building. You can never become a brand because whenever I use the word brand, it's a long-term concept. Understand? It's a long-term concept, a lifelong concept. A brand never dies. A brand never dies. Please understand, a brand never dies. A brand lives in the hearts of its customers, of its people, those who have used the brand, those who have been benefited from that brand. They remember and cherish the memories of their association with that particular brand throughout life, throughout generations. Understand? Throughout generations. What is brand ownership? This is a beautiful photograph I have brought from a beautiful blog. The blog, the author had written the blog and he has written very clearly, origin of the concept of brand. Okay? Henry Ford, because of his commitment, conviction, and consistency in his effort, he stood by the product he designed. He stood by the engine he designed. He stood by his commitments to its customers throughout his life. Then Henry Ford, then later his next generation here, Alfred Ford, they have built a kind of empire where the car itself has been famous in the name of Ford. Ford has become the brand of a car. Because of what? Because Henry Ford lived with the brand dream. Henry Ford lived with his mission. Henry Ford never taken help of any celebrity to promote his product. Henry Ford never involved a celebrity to communicate the promises the brand makes to the world, to the customers. But he himself lived that life. He himself, his purpose, he himself lived his mission. And he stood by his commitment, he stood by the quality, he maintained consistency, he proved his conviction and credibility. So it is called brand ownership. A very powerful brand is built through ownership. Understand? Microsoft is a brand. Microsoft is a brand. How? There is no magic. A kind of monopolistic domination it has in the market, because the employees work in Microsoft, they own the company. The top key decision makers in Microsoft, they own the company. They do not do the job. They run, they do the service, they contribute on their roles, on their positions, as if Microsoft is their company. So there is a ownership even among the employees. An organization which can reach that level, that stage of development, it becomes an eternal brand. Even when Microsoft will be closed, for example, one particular fine day you find Microsoft is closed because there is a new technology which makes Microsoft redundant, but Microsoft will be remembered for its contribution, for its quality, for its equity, for its conviction to its customers. Okay, that is called, that kind of brand is built through ownership, where the founder of the brand, they take the ownership of the brand, they live their dream, and that gives a lot of confidence in the hearts of the customers, and that makes a brand very biologically, naturally, and that becomes permanent, that leaves a permanent impression in the mind of the customers. But on the other hand, brand endorsement, I need, I may have some good quality, I may have some good promises, but that for that I need some endorsement from a celebrity to talk to this world. So that is also a kind of strategy to promote a brand, but you will find the celebrities are changed because they do it through a price. Somebody comes on the screen and promote a brand, and in return they get some money, contract money. And when there is a kind of misunderstanding between the endorser and the company producer, the celebrity leaves the brand. So that's why the brand loses its value. The company makes some losses in terms of reputation and image building. So I'm not talking about that brand endorsement is bad, but we have to find out how beautifully the same principle we can apply in our life to get the benefits of both the alternatives. Because a good teacher can endorse his student. Your PhD guide can endorse you. That is not nepotism, because your PhD guide will talk to the world that this is the merit of my scholar, this is the merit of my student. Understand? A father talks to the world proudly about the achievements of his son or daughter. That is an endorsement, and that endorsement remains permanently. Your father is not changed, your mother is not changed. We don't require a celebrity to come on the screen and promote our brand. But my teacher is an eternal guru for me, and my teacher stands by me throughout my life. Whenever there is some fall, my teacher comes all the way to support me, to mentor me, to help me. So that endorsement we definitely need to build our brand. So are they brand personality? A simple question to all of you. Are they brand personality? APJ Abdul Kalam sir, Ambedkar sir,
Savitribai Phule, Mary Kom, Aditya Birla, and respected Ratan Tata ji. There are many thousands and thousands of sub examples, but I could not, include many on my screen on my PPT. Just I have given few. Just my purpose is indicative to tell you that yes, those people are brand personalities. They had a purpose in their life and they had a mission in their life, and they all successfully achieved or fulfilled their purposes through their life mission. So you cannot become a brand personality unless you have a defined purpose in your life. This is something very important which you all have to note down, that living a life without a purpose has no meaning at all. We are just living an organic life. We have no social purpose. We have no professional purpose. If we do not have any goal in life, the life is lived is meaningless. But Abdul Kalam had a purpose in his life and a mission he achieved. Similarly, Savitribai Phule, in her name, the Savitribai Phule University in Pune, a woman, a legendary woman, transformed the concept of women education, girl child education in India, in the southern part of her country. He fought against all odds in life. She stood by her commitments, her convictions for the cause of the downtrodden people, poor people, for the upliftment, for their upliftment, for their education, for their empowerment. She had never given up. She fought against all the odds to achieve her dream. What was her purpose? Empowerment of rural poor women through education, empowerment of girls, upliftment of their life by education, and she has become a role model. She has become a true inspiring leadership example in the field of education. So we take all those names with a lot of respect and admiration because they are all brand personality. It does not mean none of us can become a brand. Many of us, all of us can become a brand if we have a defined purpose in our life, and if we have a very clearly defined mission statement in our life, and if we live it. I am writing a mission statement in my diary and then I forget it. That definitely will not happen. That definitely will not take me to anywhere. I will live a common life. I will live like other thousands, millions of common people. But how to stand out from the crowd, how to make my image different in the crowd, how to make my identity, my existence something different, something unique. And for that, I need some attributes, some qualities. Okay, the most important two components of brand personality building is or are: you must have a purpose in life, and you must have a very defined mission statement which you have to chase, throughout your life. And there are some other inputs that I'll definitely share with all of you during the course of this talk. So I request all of you to remember those points and embed it in your memory, and try to utilize it in your day-to-day life, in your profession, in your occupation, and whatever things you are doing in your life. Not It is not essential that everybody has to be in a particular profession, everybody has to become a doctor, everybody has to become a lawyer, or everybody has to become a political leader or a teacher. Whatever you do in your life, whatever you do in your life, with that particular activity, with that particular kind of service and offerings, you can emerge yourself, you can transform yourself as a brand. Okay, I'll talk about these things. If I ask you now, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? And you know, what is your mission? Are you ready? Is there anyone? Is there anyone here listening to me can raise hand during the question answer session and tell me, yes, sir, I know my purpose and I have a mission to live my life. If someone of you have these attributes or have these written statements with you, I will salute you. I will convey my heartfelt thanks and respect to those participants. But if you sincerely inquire, if you if you sincerely if you sincerely conduct an inquiry, and if you sincerely conduct a survey, you will find more than 95% people are living their life without any purpose, without any mission. Then it will be a kind of very challenging task or very difficult task for you to emerge as a brand or to build your brand personality. Understand? So there is a Chinese saying which is very popular across the world. Don't get offended when I am using the word Chinese, because of COVID 2019, you know, the entire population of the world has developed a kind of apathy for the Chinese people, a Chinese leadership. Sorry, I should not use this word, the Chinese people. There is an apathy developed in our heart and mind against the Chinese political leadership. But still, this is something different which has been contributed by the philosophers in that particular country hundreds and hundreds of years back. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go for fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody. So that's why I'm taking, whenever I'm using the word brand personality, you have to emerge as a leader in your respective field with a lot of convictions and promises to your people. And then really you are absolutely ready to be admired by people as a brand. What Albert Einstein said, only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. See, and I can quote hundreds and hundreds of similar types of quotes from different established, respected personalities of India and from across the globe. The sole meaning of life is to serve humanity, Leo Tolstoy. The same quotation you have come across, given by, said by Swami Vivekananda and different other great personalities of India. I have given here two examples of mission statements. The first one is from a faculty with whom I am attending a course on Coursera. Whatever I am sharing with you here on this platform, that is from my learning from University of Virginia. Currently, I am undergoing a course from University of Virginia on personal branding, because I had a kind of interest to know what is it, how to make the brand, what kind of precautions I have to take, what kind of efforts I have to make to make myself a strong brand, okay, to my stakeholders. So this is, I'm not taking the name of that faculty member because it will be a breach of confidentiality principle. But this is the mission statement shared with us by that faculty from University of Virginia. And I have checked in her Twitter account, I have checked in her LinkedIn account, what exactly she has stated here. She is living that statement. Exactly she is trying to do in her social networking and professional life. And that particular mission statement definitely contributing some value to build her as a popular brand in the academia or in the world of academics. And during this particular course learning, I also learned, and I shared, I have given a thought to what I have been doing for last 20-25 years. Based on that experience, based on that wisdom, based on that wisdom, based on that experience, I too have defined the mission of my life that I can read to keep myself updated. This is my mission, to keep myself updated with knowledge, skill, and emerging perspectives, to serve my primary stakeholders with dedication and sincerity. Who are my primary stakeholders? The students, my colleagues, my students, my colleagues, my peers, those who are working with me in my organization and in the world of academics. So today I am delivering this lecture. I am delivering this talk on, with Sems Welfare Foundation. So it means the learners, the partners of learning, those who are attending this talk, they are also my learning partners. We do not use the word students nowadays. We use the word learning partners. So they are also my learning partners. Today we are connected to each other. Now our transaction begins. If I'm interested, if all of you are interested, we can begin a transaction. You can become part of my journey. I can become part of your journey. That means this is very important to emerge as a successful brand. You have to decide, you have to focus what is your purpose in life. Okay? And then what is your mission statement? How to frame your mission statement and how to move forward. There's some tips as I have been talking to all of you. First, determine and define your purpose. Then identify 3 to 4 equity, that is values. What is the concept of equity? Because I may not have much time to talk about on those particular concepts. It takes time. But equity, when we talk that a product has equity, it means that the product does not discriminate between a poor, a middle class customer and a rich customer. Understand? That is the equity. That means the product, whenever it goes to the customer, it offers the same values, it offers the same quality to every type of customers or consumers. Clear? So you identify 3 to 4 such values in your life, in your profession, which you feel that those 3-4 values are very important for you. You can compromise with anything, but you cannot compromise with these 3-4 values. You must be very choosy, you must be very sincere, you must be very honest to identify these 3 or 4 values in your life. And that you have to sync together. You have to sync together those identified values, and then you have to frame your mission statement. The statement must communicate to the world about your intention, and it must talk about what is deliverable, what you are going to deliver. Is it education service? Is it a health service? Is it a restaurant? Is it a consultancy? Are you a tuition teacher? Are you a joint entrance examiner, expert who trains students to appear for different kind of competitive examinations? What you are. So your intention and your deliverable must be written clearly in your mission statement. And the mission statement must comprise the 3 or 4 values, whichever you identify, which you live for, which has given you an identity, or which makes your life purposeful. You are living for those values. Understand? So values should not be something what we do on internet, copy paste. No, it is not a copy paste job. That he or she is having these values, he or she has written this as his or her mission statement. So my mission statement should be similar to that. No, if you are doing that, then you are diluting your efforts, and definitely this will derail you from your mission. The mission, that's why this exercise needs you to devote some quality time and very deep thought. Even if required, you can have some consultation. With whom? I'll talk to you, I'll tell you with whom. So this is a very important activity to frame, to identify the purpose of your life, and then to frame the mission statement of your life. Because then you can design and plan your words. किस तरह का शब्द हम यूज करते हैं फैमिली में, प्रोफेशन में, जॉब पर, बाजार में, कम्युनिटी में, किस प्रकार का लैंग्वेज हम यूज करते हैं, किस तरह का कम्युनिकेशन का मेथड हम यूज करते हैं. Whenever I am composing some message, how do I coin the message? How do I write my content? What are my offerings? What are the different kind of activities I participate, I organize, I deliver, and my services, etc. So based on that mission statement, these things to be designed. It should not be accidental. It should not be spontaneous. Whatever comes to my mind, I talk. No. In the beginning, it may be a little bit difficult for you, but when you leave your mission, this will become a regular practice in your life, and then you need not to do anything. Things will move, things will roll, and you will be, you will be continuously, you will be moving forward, and you will be gain popularity, respect, admiration from people, and you will definitely emerge as a very beautiful, brand, known brand. Purposefully choose your social media platforms. That is one something which we do carelessly. We are, most of us, 90%, more than 90% people, those who are on social media platform, be it Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, we just join because our friends join. Our friends join, so I join. Before you join, you think 10 times, because when you join, you have to continue. You must have something to share. You must have some ideology to, to like some posts of friends. You can follow somebody. So what you exactly do on social media platforms, that can build your brand, that can spoil your image. And there are hundreds and hundreds of examples that social media platforms have become negative, had become deconstructive for certain type of institutions and personalities. So we need to be very careful, because social media has become a part of our life. So this is a very important component of brand personality. So what you are doing on social media platforms. Now most of the organizations, when they are going for recruitment, they first check your activities on social media platforms. What you are doing, what you are sharing, what kind of content you like and share, what kind of activities and movements you support, what kind of friends you have, how frequent you are on those media platforms. They check everything, because social media analytics are available. A company just can do a click on the computer with the help of some software. They can just give them a clear picture about your activities on a social media platform. Either it will build your personality or it will destroy your image. So be very specific and sensitive about what you are doing on social media platforms. Don't be a member of more than 2 social media platforms. Even if you are joining 2 media platforms, it becomes a huge responsibility for you throughout your life. So don't be there on 5, 6, 7, 8 platforms and create and create your life miserable. It will never make you, it will finish you. Okay, then you need to have one more important component for your brand building exercise, a board of directors. You will find many companies, they have board of directors. The concept replicated here to tell you that you too need a group of people who will guide you, mentor you, help you during the time of your crisis, during the time of your confusion, during the time of your dilemmas, during the time of your challenging situations. Individually, we are incomplete. Individually, none of us have all the strength, all the qualities to excel in life. We need the help of some good Samaritans. We need the help of some good people. And please be careful when you are choosing such people. Don't choose those people simply by your affiliation or your attachment. Somebody may be very close friend of yours. Somebody may be appearing as a very loving person for you. But be careful whether those people are naysayers. Those people, what is the attitude of those people? Are they really, or are they really worthy to help you or to be added to your as a member of your board of directors? This board of directors is conceptual, it is mental, it is there in your memory. You need not to publish their name on social media platforms, or you need not to publish their name in a newspaper, but you have to keep them in your memory. So for this particular thing, I need the help of this person. Sometimes somebody can give you some connect, some lead. Okay, and that is also important. So as the company excels, as the company grows, by the guidance of a board of director, as an individual, as a professional, we too need the help of a group of very good people, those who love us, those who stand by us, those who are genuine. Whenever we need help, they won't hesitate to come forward and help us. Such kind of persons we must identify to guide us as our individual board of directors. Very important. These are some tips, some of the tips which can help you to initiate the process of your brand building or brand personality. Very important. Stay focused. Stay focused. Be genuine and confident in what you are doing. Okay? If you are selling flowers, if you are running a small tea shop, whatever it may be, live genuine, stay genuine and confident in what you are doing. I am doing what I am doing, I am doing the best. I told you everybody cannot become engineer, doctor, professor, teachers. But we all have some intrinsic capacities that we have to explore and identify, and that we have to nurture, so that can build our identity, image, respect in the society. So be genuine and confident in what you are doing. Maintain positivity and consistency. Don't change from your statements here and now. Today I tell something, tomorrow I tell something, last year I told something, this year I am telling something. No. So there is no consistency in your actions, in your thoughts, in your speeches, in your talk, in your behavior. Then you are not a brand. You must be positive. You must admire or nurture positivity in your personality, and then maintain consistency and conviction, determination. I am for this. I stand by this. I stand by this. Okay? Work with people you like. Be very particular in choosing your peer and colleagues. Where you are working, if you do not love the job, don't do it. Don't do a job only for salary or wage. Most people die. Most people retire unsatisfied because they are compelled to do some job just for the sake of maintenance and life and living. Okay? So work with people you like. So find out what job you want to do, what job you like, what job you enjoy. The thing which you enjoy most, do that. That is your passion. Your passion is hidden there. Please be very careful. This is what we talk to the students during their career counseling, before their campus placement, before they join a program. We try to talk to them and ask them, are you really motivated for doing PGDM program or MBA program? Are you really have self motivation for this, or your parents want, your mother want, your relatives want? As because your friends are doing, you also want to do MBA? No, this is wrong. So do this, do that, what you really like, you really love. Avoid naysayers, those who always say, no, 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 it is not possible, you cannot do it, there is something wrong. Avoid those people. Just respect them. I'm not talking about hate them. Avoid them. Maintain relationships, okay, but do not take them very seriously in your life. Never hesitate to accept failure. Yes, I also failed several times, but I have learned from those failures. This is important in life. If you do not have that aptitude, if you do not accept your failures, you can never succeed. Set priority for leadership, not just self promotion. People go to Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, and they blindly try their own self promotion. It is destructive. It is destructive. Your priority should be leadership. Are you emerging as a leader with some commitment to people, with some offerings to people, with some services for the people, with some dedication? So you must emerge as a leader who carries some promises, some commitments for its people. Raise your level of self awareness, very important. And then include those in your board of directors who are trusted and will sincerely address your concern. Do not include anyone in the board of directors, your board of directors. That means your group of mentors, advisors, simply because of your relationship with them. No. Find out somebody directly or indirectly through some references. Talk to them your purpose, your aim of life, and seek their help and guidance. They will be feeling proud to help you. They will be feeling proud to help you. I have taught thousands of students, but most of my students are connected with me through social networking channels, by phone call, by WhatsApp. Whenever they need help, whenever they seek my help and guidance, I am always there for them. So you have to find out similar type of persons in your life, those who are genuine and will sincerely come forward to help you. And then only your journey to build your brand will be successful. Okay, I will be ending my talk with these three beautiful quotes here. One quote, the first quote is from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna says, व्यक्ति जो चाहे बन सकता है यदि वह विश्वास के साथ इच्छित वस्तु पर लगातार चिंतन करे. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको जो चाहिए, आप जो चाहते हो, योर पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ, योर मिशन, यू हैव टू लिव विद दैट. उसको लिव करना पड़ेगा. यू ईट दैट, यू लिव दैट, यू ड्रीम दैट, देन ओनली थिंग्स पॉसिबल. This is the same quote once Abdul Kalam has said very clearly. If you just go through his quotes, you will find out. Understand? The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. So that means the purpose is very important in the life. The purpose comes between these two identities, who you are and who you want to be. In between, your action comes into place. Your action, your participation, your words, your sentences, your activities, your services, your offerings, that stand in between. And very important, because that is the connector. If that is well planned, that is well designed, your life becomes very beautiful. You are really a successful brand, a brand personality. If you focus on results, you will never change. If you focus on change, you will get the results. So that is what the target is. and that journey begins from today, when after this session you first identify your purpose in life, and then you identify 3 or 4 very core values for which you are living your life, for which you never compromise. Identify those values and then write your mission statement, and that mission statement must make it very clear about your intention and about your deliverable. Then your journey begins. And be very sensitive and careful in your social media participation and presence. With this, I stop my talk here. I leave it for question and answer session. If there is any question, I would be happy to answer. Thank you. So I am
Yes.
sincerely 1 minute. I am sincerely thankful to Sems Welfare Foundations for this opportunity, and I am really thankful to Ms. Divya for her beautiful coordination till date, for making this event very successful for me. And I am really thankful to all the participants, those who were attending this program as my partners of learning. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for your such a beautiful guidance and explanation. And we have a lot of questions, mainly from Nasir
Yeah.
Dirani. His question
Acha,
is, how do
please.
you?
Yes, Rupali. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
So I'm
Rupali.
traveling right now.
Okay,
So
okay,
I
okay.
attended the talk. It was wonderful to listen you after a long time, sir.
Thank you so much, Rupali.
It
I'm
was
also
truly inspiring.
okay.
It was
I'm also
wonderful to listen you.
thank you. Thank you. I'm also happy to see you. Thank you very much for joining me today here. Thank you, Rupali. God bless you. Yes, madam, please continue the question.
Yes, sir. Sure. So Nasir is saying, how do you define personal branding in learning process,
Hmm.
especially when we consider teachers as a company and learners as a consumer?
Yes. So whether Nasir is asking me branding as a learner or branding as a teacher.
Yes, please, Nasir, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Nasir can make it clear to me whether he wants to make his branding as a learner or as a teacher.
Hello, Nasir. Please respond.
Okay, he said yes, sir.
Yes or
So
no? He is saying
Good
something.
afternoon.
yes, Nasir, please.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Yeah,
Nasir.
many thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, many thanks. Excellent presentation.
Thank you, Nasir. Thank you so much.
Just Brent as a teacher,
Hmm.
we can see the teacher as a company.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So and learners as a product.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Between teachers and
Hmm.
learners,
Hmm.
we need to build our personal branding. So.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So very good question, Nasir. Very good question. Very contemporary question. And these are all emerging issues coming up to us as teachers. We are facing this. So there is nothing wrong in considering your students as your product. Nothing wrong. If a private institution treats the students as its customers, nothing wrong. The word customer does not carry any wrong value. Okay, this is our perception. This is a kind of no prejudice. We should not be prejudiced against certain words. There is nothing wrong if a college is considering their students as customers. It increases their commitment to the students. The students are paying something to get a quality education from that institutions. From that point of view, the students may be referred as customers. Nothing wrong. And when you use the word customer, then your commitment increases manifold. Understand? In today's world, the students are considered as partner of learning. Teachers are no more teachers. They are the facilitators, mentors, enablers. They are referred as learning facilitators because the concept of learning has been changed. The learning is happening outside class. In our time, our learning happened inside class. Even though I am interested or I am not interested, Whether I had the mood or motivation or not, my teacher continued talking in class and teaching in class. He never checked whether I understood or not. But in today's world, learning, most of the learning happens outside the classroom with your peers, with your self initiative, participating in different community platforms. You are attending conference, seminars, professional associations, you are interacting, social media platforms, interest groups, subject groups. There are so many such opportunities. So learning platforms have been transformed. So teachers, if the institutions call the students as customers, so as a teacher, it is your responsibility to guide them where from the customers can get maximum happiness. So if the customers are happy with you, you will be admired by them as a very good facilitator for their learning process. My dear Nasir, we are no more teacher. Even a student of class, even a student of 13 years old student, a 13-year-old boy has become the CEO of his app development company. How it is possible? A 13-year-old boy has become the CEO. Would you treat him as your student? Sometimes perhaps he knows much more than a teacher because he is exposed to this internet world. He has learned something advanced to his age. He has learned something advanced to his age. That's why he could run a company at the age of 13. So these are the challenges and these are the realities. Nasir, could I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Nasir. Any other
Many
question?
thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Next questions are also asked by Nasir.
Yeah, please.
Do you think building a personal brand is more important than ever for learning process in the future?
No, see, you must you must build a brand as a learner too, because sometimes you may seek help from some institution, from some teacher, from an expert to help you. For example, you are doing PhD, you have a guide. Every university there is a system that you have to register under the guide. But what actually happens in reality, the student, the scholar has to approach many other professors and resource persons to get help, to get guidance. But if, as a learner, if you do not build up your brand, and what you promise? You promise sincerity, you promise punctuality, you promise, genuinity. So whenever you are approaching to some teacher for help and guidance, you must have a kind of personality you must carry with you so that you can create impression in the mind of that person so that he or she can help you. So branding is not the branding. I am not talking here. Branding is to be considered as an attempt to build our image. Okay, build our image, because we know the definition of personality is what the personality definition talks about. It is something through which we communicate to this world. Okay, that is personality.
Yes, so also we are having a time constraint. So
No
I
problem.
will. There is also a last question from Regna Oyalos. Can brand live in the heart of the people, and how can we generation continue it for our future?
What, can you repeat once?
Can brand live in the heart of the people, and how can we generation continue it for our future?
Yes. Tell me. I have given some examples: the Tata, and then Birla, and then the Munjal family, who has brought in the concept of, who has given us the gift of Hero Motors Corporation. Then Bhargis Puri and Amul. So even if when you create a brand, the impression of a brand is long lasting. I might have forgot different brands, whatever I have used during my school days, but I never forget the brand Sulekha, that is the fountain pen ink, and Nataraj pencil. We used a pencil Nataraj and Sulekha, the fountain pen ink. So still now I remember Sulekha as a brand which I used during my school days. I remember the name of Nataraj pencil even when I am teaching in university. And you won't believe, still till date, whenever I go to a shop, a stationery shop, 10 times if I visit, 5 times, more than 5 times, I will definitely buy a Nataraj pencil than any other recent brands, sometimes which may offer much better quality, much lesser price. But because this is an attachment I have with Nataraj, attachment I had with Sulekha. Sulekha is not available today's market, but still I remember that name. The brand lives in the heart of people for a longer period of time. Yes, that is true.
I would like to thank you for giving us your precious time and sharing your knowledge with us. Thanks a lot to our audience also for attending this event, and we hope you gain knowledge today. And we look forward to seeing you at the next event also.